All right, we're going to talk about wearing out guns. Here's a question. Watching this great video has me wondering, how often do you totally wear out a gun, rifle, or pistol? If I understand your comments, you don't baby your gear, do all the maintenance that some do. Just curious, good stuff. That's a great question, and I'll just tell you, guns don't really wear out. They just kind of get left. They just get left behind. Let me start with this. Okay, so of my frames, the pistols that I have quite a few. This frame has gotten shot the most, I think. In terms of round counts, it might be 200,000. It might be more. It might be a little less. But this was my primary training gun for a long time, and it has been shot a ton. If you take a look at it inside the mag well here, you can see it's been beat up. You know, the frame is scratched up. The gun's been shot a lot. Now, at a certain point, I think around 150. Check it out. Look at that. So it's all mangled. Around 150,000 rounds. I noticed that the rounds were not impacting right at the top of the post like they normally do. So let's say I put the gun on the edge of a piece of steel where normally it would hit the edge. Sometimes the round would hit the edge. Sometimes, over here, sometimes it'd miss off to the side, and I was like, oh, this thing doesn't feel consistent. So this gun actually did get a new slide and barrel. That was just the easiest thing to do, by the way. Instead of change barrel, I fitted a new slide and barrel combo. The reason I'm pulling this gun out first is to tell you, like, if you change parts, like change barrels and that kind of stuff, the guns are going to keep working for a long, long time until something catastrophically fails. Like on a gun like this, I think what would kill it is the rails, the slide rails on the frame. If those break off, I think you're screwed. But that didn't happen in this case. And I don't think that's ever happened to one of my pistols. So the point is they last a long time. Now, I have, as you can imagine, a lot of guns. This is an example of one of the guns that goes to die, that gets left behind, as I said. Now, this gun was in service, I think, 2 or 3 years I shot it. It was, a version of a Tanfoglio, nice double single gun. If I pull the trigger sideways a little, you can see it released the hammer, but it didn't actually fall. Like something is wrong or something's messed up on the internals of this gun. After however many rounds, 20, 30,000 rounds, something changed, something wore out. So now I've got to fix this trigger if I would want to get back up and use the gun. The thing is, I tend to cycle through guns. I don't keep training with them forever usually, unless it's a Glock. Then that seems to be a relationship that lasts forever. But what happens is something like this. The plan is you buy a gun. For me, I get a gun. I'm going to train with it. 20,000 rounds a year, maybe 2-3 years as a practice gun, and then a bunch of stuff would need to get changed, maybe, so the easiest thing to do for me is just get another gun and have that one go to sit. There's a lot of stuff like that. A few guns I have, like this is a gun. This one got completely parted out, where I just took the grips, I took the slide for something else. Shit, I even took the magazine release out of this gun at one point, just because I wanted the parts for something else. So, like I said, the guns, they don't really go away. They just get left behind. As far as the rifles that I think I've killed 5 or 6 rifle barrels, shooting rifle, but all the guns themselves are fine. They're just going to get a new barrel. Sometimes you get a gun like this. This one's got about 20,000 rounds through it, and now it's become a problem child. It doesn't extract consistently, and it doesn't seem to matter what I do, meaning changing the extractor spring. Now I have a bunch of Shadow 2s. It's just that this one in particular has become a problem child. And like I said, the easiest thing for me to do at this point is just set this thing aside and get more and just shoot those. And then I might have an idea in my head that I'm going to come back to it and like really mess around with the extractor on this one and get it to work. But if I'm being honest, I'm probably not ever going to actually do that. Over the course of my shooting career, I've actually destroyed a couple of guns, left behind, I don't know, 10, 20, something like that. And then used, not used up, and they're still good to go. I have a bunch of guns, bunch of different platforms where it's like, yeah, this gun's been shot. It's good to go. It can sit on the shelf, and I'll come back to it later whenever I want, and it'll be ready for me. So, in my opinion, guns don't really wear out. Not usually. They just kind of get left behind.